This movie is a remake of 1947's movie that is based on 1946 novel with the same name. It tells a story about Stan Carlisle, played by Bradley Cooper, who joins a small-time carnival where he meets Molly. After seducing her, both decided to leave for greener pastures. They come in contact with Lilith, a shrink who has a plan to milk her rich patients. The story then turns into something fairly sinister and unforgiving. First of all, in terms of technical sense, this movie is very good. From the outset, the movie is beautiful to look at. The movie's production design, cinematography, lighting, and costume design are impeccable. Everything here is visually more elaborate and grotesque than in the original 1947 picture, making use of advancements in technology and makeup effects to highlight gore and graphic material. Unfortunately, the movie rings hollow and there just doesn't seem to be a lot going on. At nearly 140 minutes, these noir dramas are too bloated for their own good. The noir intensity is missing as the movie is buckling under its own weight despite an all-star cast. The script is ill-conceived, a disaster that squanders all of the good faith it tries to cultivate in the first half hour, tossing reason and empathy to the side. There is no one to root for, every character is horrible, and none of them have enough depth to even understand what makes them tick. The filmmakers indicate that they don't know what to do with the material. The movie plays more like an empty impersonation, while the remake occasionally delivers R-rated scenes. The original still registers as the more shocking and more intense film. The movie's sluggish pacing, hollow characters, and corny dialogue drag down this film into being a self-indulgent bore. It's disappointing because there's so much talent involved in making this film. A movie like this is supposed to intrigue viewers from beginning to end, not make them feel like they want to go to sleep. The script is heavy-handed and lacks enough flair and nuance to bring these characters to life as well-rounded people. With the film's overlong runtime, the characters actually receive detailed backstories and more time to establish motives and relationships. Unfortunately, they don't offer up meaningful revelations. It's still slow-moving and plodding, giving away too much with its unnecessary explanations into the inner workings of the geek show, and wasting moments on nightmarish flashbacks and unfitting scene transitions. Bradley Cooper's performance as Stan falls completely flat. Toni Collette's early attraction to him feels unearned and is dropped rather early. Many leering gazes establish his fascination with the younger Molly, but when it comes to their big love scene, there's no sparks at all. Without any chemistry, it's hard to understand why Molly would leave her chosen family just for this man. It's difficult to care about anyone in this movie when they're virtually all manipulative users and largely irredeemable anti-heroes who spout a lot of words that don't have much substance. Molly is the only character in the movie who seems immune to becoming corrupt, but she's written as almost too good to be true. The scenes are staged with immense attention to detail on how everything looks, but the filmmakers didn't pay enough attention to how these characters are supposed to make viewers feel. Cruelty and degradation permeate throughout the movie, which is nearly devoid of any intended humor. It amplifies cursing and violence, which inadvertently takes away from the horror aspects since the gruesome imagery on display can't live up to the provocations of the mind. There aren't that many surprises to be had as the story itself is bit for bit about the same as the original movie, altering only a minimal sum of elements. This remake has an ending that's much bleaker than the original movie. It's a well-acted, emotional final scene. Unfortunately, it's not enough to make up for the character emptiness throughout most of the movie. Overall, this movie is emotionally flat and undecided on what exactly it wants to say about these characters and the world they inhabit. Considering all the cast and crew behind this movie is a total disappointment. We do not recommend this movie at all.